Officials say San Diego was chosen because of its economic productivity and research and development institutions. The UK is also opening offices in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Raleigh, North Carolina. Randy Fuller, San Diego.
Want to beat cancer? Because a new study shows nearly half of all cancer cases in the U.S. could be prevented with 4 lifestyle changes. Oncologist Shelby Truestripe of Sanford Health in North Dakota says the study indicates quitting smoking is at the top of the list.
And by stopping smoking, we can decrease those cancer rates by 48%.
The study in the journal Science also recommends limiting alcohol consumption to no more than 1 drink a day for women, 2 for men, shedding excess pounds, and getting at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week, also helping reduce the risk. Getting enough sleep is not on the recommended lifestyle change list, although many cancer experts think that one should be added. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
We're here to fix the machine.
Battlefield Live.
You're listening to the Battlefield Live with Chris and Trey on WGSO 990 AM in New Orleans and the Lanterns Radio Network. Thank you for joining us tonight. We got a great show for you, lots to get to. And I'm going to be flying solo tonight in the big chair, taking your phone calls as always at 504-556-9696. We have... Of course, we have the tonight is the Hump Day version of the DNC. So the DNC tonight did their thing, and they have been obviously doing their thing since Monday. So the DNC, last night, former President Bill Clinton did his speech, did his thing, and even conservatives today ranted and raved about the speech. I want to start off the show tonight. I want to play some audio for you. I think this audio is rather compelling. I hope that it'll be as compelling for you as it was for me when I heard it initially. When I heard this little piece of audio, to me, there can really be there are no more questions to me about whether or not Hillary Clinton is eligible to be president of the United States or if she's fit to be president of the United States, whether you can call her a liar, whether she perjured herself. This audio is a little bit over 3 minutes of audio, so I want to, off the top, kind of set the table here. And I want to let her words, I want to let Congressman Trey Gowdy's words, and I want to let FBI Director James Comey's words speak for themselves. Take a listen to this.
You talk about leveling with the American people. Have you always told the truth?
I've always tried to. Always. Always.
Secretary Clinton said all work-related emails were returned to the State Department. Was that true?
I responded right away. I believe I have met all of my responsibilities, and the server will remain private. We have turned over the server. They can do whatever they want to with the server to figure out what's there or what's not there. And provided all my emails that could possibly be work-related.
No, we found work-related emails, thousands, that were not returned.
Secretary Clinton said I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material. Was that true?
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material.
No, there was classified material emailed.
Secretary Clinton said she never sent or received any classified information over her private email. Was that true?
I'm certainly well aware of the classification requirements and did not send classified material.
investigation found that there was classified information sent.
So it was not true.
Right. That's what I said.
Secretary Clinton said she used just one device. Was that true?
I thought it would be easier to carry just one device for my work and for my personal emails instead of two.
She used multiple devices during the 4 years of her term as Secretary of State.
I thought using one device would be simpler, and obviously it hasn't worked out that way.
Secretary Clinton said neither she nor anyone else deleted work-related emails from her personal account. Was that true?
They had nothing to do with work, but I didn't see any reason to keep them.
There's no doubt that there were work-related emails that were removed electronically from the email system.
Secretary Clinton said her lawyers read every one of the emails and were overly inclusive.
We went through a thorough process to identify all of my work-related emails and deliver them to the State Department.
Did her lawyers read the email content individually?
No.
FBI believes that you tried to wipe the entire server. Did you try to wipe the entire, so that there be no email, no personal, no official?
Well, my personal emails are my personal business, right?
You were the official in charge. Did you wipe the server?
What, like with a cloth or something? No, well, no.
Secretary Clinton said there was nothing marked classified on her emails, either sent or received. Was that true?
That's not true. There were...
Never lied to you.
You know, you're asking me to say, have I ever? I don't believe I ever have. I don't believe I ever have. I don't believe I ever will. I'm going to do the best I can to level with the American people.
Our politicians are stupid.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You be the judge. I'm going to tweet this out and put this on social media everywhere. And I really think that you need to take this audio, and I think you need to put it on every piece of social media that you have. You need to email it to everyone that you... Right now, this video only has right at 1,300 views. But how can this not be the most disqualifying piece of video and audio that there is out there to make the case that even before tomorrow night, before she gives her big speech, her big acceptance speech? I mean, because make no doubt about it, she has made history. And becoming the first woman nominated for president of the United States from either of the two major parties. I mean, there can be no doubt that what she has done is historic. Hillary Clinton is 68 years old. Donald Trump is going to be 70 in November. Whoever's elected, either one of them, they're going to be close to 80 years old. 86 and 78 if they were to be elected for 2 terms. That's it. That's age that most young people just, they don't relate to that. We have the 2 worst candidates to headline the tickets. I mean, for as bad as Trump is, Hillary's that much worse. And she got her nomination on her second try. Everybody remembers she lost to President Obama, then Senator Obama. But how can this woman, and then to run a party like she's been running the campaign, and to have the DNC with all of the WikiLeaks, all of these WikiLeaks emails released. Now, if you hadn't heard, and we'll talk about this on the other side of the break in much, much more detail, But WikiLeaks released 20,000 emails from the U.S. Democratic National Committee. But now WikiLeaks has dumped audio recordings from the organization, and the new release includes 29 voice messages pulled straight out of the emails of high-ranking DNC officials, totaling 14 minutes of audio. So we'll talk about what's contained in those leaked voicemails. And much, much more. Your calls, 504-556-9696. This is the Battlefield Live with Chris and Trey on WGSO 990 AM. Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean, this is totally fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Playmakers Indoor Sports offers youth and adult leagues for soccer and flag football, NFL youth flag football, and youth developmental programs. Playmakers Tots program is a youth development program for children ages 18 months to 7 years. Playmakers Tots uses sports like soccer, football, baseball, and basketball to help kids work on motor development, learn to work together, follow directions, and improve listening skills while learning that activity is fun. To register for classes, go to our registration page at playmakersindoor.com or call 504-305-6078. Playmakersindoor.com. 6124 Jefferson Highway in Harahan.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, every day men and women across this beautiful country are seeing something they never thought possible. They're seeing bags and puffiness under their eyes. Just go away. Disappear. That's right. Like you, Kathy from Dearborn, Michigan, probably thought nothing would work for her. Then she tried Genucel, and she wrote the following. Genucel is a great product. I don't have bags, but I had an odd puff under one eye. It is now totally gone, thanks to the Genucel. At first, it would come and go. After 2 weeks, it did not return. I am very happy. No, it's not just Kathy. I use Genucel. You too can get rid of these bags and puffiness, and with the Genucel immediate effects, you'll lose years off your appearance in just 12 hours. Genucel will work for you or your money back. That's guaranteed. Call 800-SKIN-891. 800-SKIN-891. But it gets better. Order now, and Chamonix will include the Platinum Dark Circle treatment absolutely free. Order now, and priority shipping is also free. You don't wait. Call 800-SKIN-891. That's 800-SKIN-891. 800-SKIN-891.
Welcome back to the program, Battlefield Live, WGSO 990 AM. The phone number, as always, is 504-556-9696. Love to hear from you tonight. Flying solo, Chris had a little. I don't know if it's a family emergency or not, but he had some urgent last-minute business to tend to, so I'm flying solo on a Battlefield Live today. So give us a call, 504-556-9696. We'll kind of make it an open phone Wednesday, and we'll start the show off by going to line one. And Phil the Patriot. Phil, welcome to the program. Phil. Whoa, Phil. All right, well, Phil, call back if you hung up. Call back. We'll put you right on. So WikiLeaks releases, of course, earlier in the week they released a bunch of emails, 20,000 worth of emails. And I mean, there was all kind of stuff in it. You had anti-Semitic, anti-gay. You had some racist remarks. You had religious. But basically, all of these emails revealed that the fix was in for Hillary all along. They were never going to allow Bernie Sanders to win the nomination. And is he back? All right, we're going to go back to the phone lines, and now we'll take Philip the Patriot. Good evening, Philip. Welcome to the program.
Hey, this is Phil, the American Mutant Ninja Patriot Specialist Elite. Excuse me, I was in the restroom for a moment. Wake up, America. Good evening, brother and sister Christian American Patriot hostages. I just saw Hillary Clinton's America, and I want to say something to you. Now playing at the theater near you. Don't miss Hillary Clinton's America. Go see it yourself. I want to repeat it again. Don't miss Hillary Clinton's America by Vanessa Souza. Are you ready for a real-life American Starlock 17? Are you ready for a real-life American Russian Gulag? Are you ready for a real-life American prisoner plantation planet? Do you want to be a slave in your own country? If you think Barack Obama's zombie thug apocalypse is over, you are wrong. If Hillary Clinton and her anti-Christian, anti-police, anti-family, anti-American vice president are elected, the zombie thug apocalypse has just begun. Just like Barack Obama said. You ain't seen nothing yet. DNC stands for Demonic New World Order Communist. So wake up!
Thank you, Philip. Appreciate that. As always, Phil the Patriot. If you listen to talk radio in New Orleans at all, you know Phil the Patriot. So the fact that WikiLeaks has released the emails and now they've released the voicemails, and at this point, according to the Washington Times, of the messages that they've listened to, they really don't contain anything that's immediately or obviously embarrassing or incriminating. However, the very fact that the DNC voicemail system has been hacked is embarrassing. And it could augur the release of far more damaging material later. Now, according to the Washington Times, the majority of the messages, several of the speakers of which address themselves to Andrew, are most pro forma, lasting a few seconds and indicating only that the person has called and wants Andrew to call back. So we're not 100% sure of who this, Andrew thing is. Several concerned matters of scheduling, ambassador dinners, White House St. Patrick Day events, DNC gatherings at the Philadelphia convention. One caller apparently has even asked about the best way to contact First Lady Michelle Obama and asks this Andrew, whoever this is, for an unspecified favor. You got a few calls that are on there that are unsolicited angry voter genre, if you will. You got politicians and journalists that get by these kind of phone calls, like when we first started doing this show here, we got word that so many of you out there were expecting to hear Michael Savage, and instead you got Chris and Trey. So you inundated the radio station with, "Get these clowns off the air. I want Savage." And instead, so these are the kind of phone calls that, angry listeners send the radio station, but they were of the angry voter genre. And they might now play as strange given the WikiLeaks release emails that showing the DNC was really trying to tilt the race toward Hillary Clinton. One of the callers said, quote, "I am furious at what you're doing with Bernie Sanders. He is having far too much influence." And this was someone who identified herself as a woman on a fixed income who donated to Hillary Clinton. The same person demanded that the DNC quit acquiescing to this person who's playing the victim card and giving talking points to Donald Trump to use against Mrs. Clinton. Now, again, although, these things really don't show anything bad, what's going to come? I mean, what What's still to come? That's the interesting part. 504-556-9696. What are they going to release tomorrow? What are they going to release between now and November? And then, of course, you have Donald Trump. Donald Trump today, and I'm not sure 100%, I want to get his exact quote. Trump asks Russia, let's see what it says real quick. Yes. So this, according to the New York Times, which, it's the New York Times, but a little bit tongue-in-cheek. And listen, the media, the mainstream media right now is apoplectic, okay, over the fact that Donald Trump said tonight, or today rather, that he hoped that the Russian intelligence services had successfully hacked Hillary Clinton's email. Now, the fact that Trump said it, it's what makes the media apoplectic about this whole thing. But our own FBI director has stated that it is their assessment that although there is no evidence that hostile agents hacked Hillary Clinton's server, her private server, or her emails, what they have assessed is that they are absolutely certain that the people that she emailed and corresponded back and forth with, especially those who have generic personal email addresses that contain sensitive and classified data, they are absolutely certain that stuff was hacked. So right now, we're not sure. We think that maybe the Russians gave WikiLeaks this stuff, and they're trying, to sway the American election. The fact that a foreign entity would want to somehow subvert or influence or play a part, if that does turn out to be true, that's more of an indictment on this administration and the lack of respect and there's no care. They don't fear any sort of retribution toward sticking their nose basically into something that really doesn't pertain to them. So when Donald Trump goes out there like he did today and says he hoped that Russian intelligence services had successfully hacked Hillary Clinton's emails and then encouraged them to publish whatever you stole, publish them. Here's his quote: Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing. I think you will probably be rewarded mightily by our press. That was a shot into the press corps, because the press has done nothing but lick the boots of Hillary Clinton this entire time. They have given her a pass on every major scandal of her career, and most recently Benghazi, and most recently the whole email thing, and most recently what the DNC apparently colluded with in her campaign in making her the nominee of the Democrat Party. 504-556-9696. What do you think about all of this? And do you think anything else is coming? Give us a call, 504-556-9696. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more to cover about the email scandal and the WikiLeaks on WGSO 990 AM. We'll be right back.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to ingodwetrust.com and get your hope today.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Playmakers Indoor Sports. TOTS program is one of Playmakers' most popular. Our professionally developed curriculum provides our TOTS with a variety of fun games and exercise in a positive, enjoyable, and exciting environment. These great games help your little one develop their motor skills, create confidence, improve their listening skills, and learn how to follow directions, all while promoting fitness and activity. Our TOTS groups range from 18 months to 7 years. Sign up your little tot today or call 504-305-6078. PlaymakersIndoor.com. Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean,
like
this is totally
gyroscope.
fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
Some are saying it's grounds for charges of treason.
Congressman Joe Kennedy at the Democratic Convention in Philadelphia, one of several Democratic lawmakers slamming Donald Trump's recent comments about Russia and hacking. Earlier in the day, Trump had remarked in Florida he hopes Russia might be able to find thousands of emails that he claims are missing from Hillary Clinton's tenure as Secretary of State. Speaking on the sidelines of the convention in Philadelphia, Kennedy says he thinks Trump's comments show he's not fit to be president.
The President of the United States should, under no circumstances, be inviting espionage to a U.S. agency.
In his address to the Democratic delegates last hour, Vice President Joe Biden says of the current president, Obama,
one of the finest presidents we have ever had.
Obama to address the convention shortly. This is USA Radio News.
Hi, I'm Joan London. When I needed to find senior care for my mom, I really struggled to find the right fit until I found an advisor, someone who had been through this before. That's why I recommend A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. They have experts who will help you ask the right questions and find the right place. Call A Place for Mom today.
To speak with the local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-469-7591. That's 1-800-469-7591.
A Place for Mom has helped over 200,000 families find the right senior care for their parents, from assisted living to independent living, even Alzheimer's care, and have local advisors that can help explain your options at no cost to you.
To speak with the local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-469-7591. That's 1-800-469-7591.
Call today.
This is Jeff Cruier with my commentary of the day. Well, the Democrats want to focus on who hacked into their email accounts, pointing fingers at the Russians. But what about the contents of those emails? Showing anti-Semitic, racist, and sexist comments. Also showing collusion between the DNC and Hillary Clinton's campaign and the media. Bernie never had a chance. It was a rigged system from day one. Now the chairwoman is out. The question is, what will Bernie supporters do? Will they go with the woman who rigged the system against their candidate? Or will they go with Donald Trump, a candidate who's also an outsider, fighting the establishment against these trade deals? If not, and Hillary Clinton gets away with it and wins, nothing will change. Politics as usual will continue. So with a close election, Bernie supporters could make the difference in who wins and who loses, and whether we get rid of this rigged system. More info on this and the other hot topics of the day, check out ringsidepolitics.com.
This is David Jeremiah inviting you to join me here on Talk Radio 990 every weekday at either 5:30 or 6:30 a.m.
Hello, race fans. This is Richard Long, host of Race Talk with Big Easy Motorsports. Join us Friday evenings from 7 to 9 here on WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com.
Bon appetit. I'm Cynthia Clark, your food reporter and host of the Cuisine Report. The Cuisine Report is the new daily voice on WGSO, Monday to Friday from 1 to 3.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to InGodWeTrust.com and get your hope today.
(504-556-9696). If you want to jump in now, be a part of the program. Trey Roberts flying solo tonight on the Battlefield Live on WGSO 990 AM. Thank you for joining us. Got a lot more to get to. Many of you may not be familiar. Well, I don't know. You may be familiar. If you're a sports fan, you know who Richard Sherman is. Richard Sherman is that smart athlete guy. You know, he went to Stanford, played with Andrew Luck, and is a lockdown cornerback for the Seattle Seahawks. We talk a little bit about him. He made some comments about Black Lives Matter, and a lot of people are upset about it. But will you be upset when you hear what he said? So stick around for that. Also, the big loser from the Republican convention, if you ask most Trump supporters, they would say is Ted Cruz. But I want you to dig into the numbers with me in the coming segment, because all you're hearing is that Ted Cruz's approval numbers went from 66 to 33, and that he ruined his career. Is that true? We're going to find out, because we're going to look a little bit deeper into the numbers. But right now, we're going to go to the phone lines. And if you want to join us, you can give us a call, 504-556-9696. So we're going to go to Joseph. Joseph in Metairie. Welcome to the Battlefield Live, brother.
Good evening. I wanted to ask you, did the Russians indicate that if they gave any information like this to WikiLeaks, Julian Assange's WikiLeaks, that they also have maybe some assistance from that international hacker group called Anonymous?
Anonymous.
Supposed to be so good. And they're worldwide. They have a worldwide affiliation. They're the best in the world. The CIA hates them, wants to track them down and put a bounty on them. But in fact, the most intriguing thing would be all the Russians cooperating with Anonymous. But do you know anything about Anonymous working with WikiLeaks on this?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, they have, they being the Russians, have come out with an official statement. This is an article from Reuters that came out yesterday, and the official statement from the Kremlin, they are saying that they dismiss the entire idea that they have had any part of the hacking of the U.S. Democratic Party's emails as absurd, saying unidentified individuals were trying to cynically exploit fear of Russia for electoral purposes. So there's a possibility that the Democrats could be using American fear of Putin and Russia and trying to, I heard several people today on the radio try to claim that that's part of what Donald Trump is hiding in his tax returns, that Donald Trump has investments or business dealings inside of Russia, and therefore there may be some connection there. Also, it may be that he is not, that the Clintons have actually paid more in taxes than he has, so therefore his wealth is not quite as big. Whatever the case, it looks like the Russians are denying it. Vladimir Putin clearly favors Donald Trump, calling him, I think in the past he's called him very talented. But I think it's because the Russians disagree primarily with both the conservative and, we'll just say liberal, but the liberal view of the United States in general, because both of them lend themselves to the United States being over-involved in world geopolitical matters, which is a direct threat to the power structure for the Soviet Union. So they feel like Trump comes in, and for the first time in America, you've got a guy running on a nationalist platform, America First. Maybe the United States will get less entangled in world affairs, open up opportunity for Russia. So they're okay with Trump because Trump appears to be a nationalist guy who's going to shut the borders down. He's going to not get involved in stupid wars. He's publicly stated that he feels like he can talk to and negotiate with Putin. And listen, I believe these things, and I'm not making them good, bad, or indifferent, but a nationalist mentality is definitely not a conservative mentality, and a nationalist mentality is definitely not a liberal progressive mentality. It's something the United States hasn't ever seen. For me personally, Joseph, it's the thing that kind of makes me the most nervous about Donald Trump.
When you say that a nationalist mentality is not a conservative mentality.
Correct.
Are you talking about the John McCain model? Because he doesn't strike me as a conservative, a neocon.
Correct.
But I think we've gone past some of these old definitions of what a nationalist and an internationalist or a globalist is. For instance, I remember years ago when I talked on the radio, if I said I don't believe we should be shipping jobs and industries overseas.
Correct.
So that corporations could get richer, I was called a protectionist.
Yes, or an anti-capitalist.
Well, which is really kind of ridiculous, because if you want your economy, the economy of your own country strong, you don't give in to globalism or internationalism. You want to protect, that's that word again, you want to protect your country's economy, your nation's fiscal health by not throwing your workers and your industries on the street out of work.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's a fine line between patriotism and nationalism. Patriotism and nationalism have the same pride for country. Nationalism wants to impose that pride on the world. Patriotism wants other people to know about it and be a part of it if they so want to. Nationalism tends to be a little more closed off.
The one thing a lot of people I was surprised with when I studied history years ago, and UNO, and heard it on television like the History Channel, when Napoleon Bonaparte waged his wars all over Europe, he actually increased the nationalism, the sense of nationalism in countries that had not really embraced the idea of nationalism, like Spain, for instance, or even Germany, all the different German states. He actually, with his wars, the Napoleonic Wars, he actually fanned the flames of nationalism that might have actually, in the long run, set the tone that would eventually, spark into World War I, because of his, from nationalism, patriotism developed. That's the way I saw it. But you say that perhaps patriotism and nationalism are separate.
Yeah, there's definitely a fine line. I mean, you look at Hitler's unity of the Germans. A nationalistic agenda was necessary in order to, to make that country, feel good about itself and ultimately to be able to control the entire country. We've seen things like the French Revolution. You could point to the unity of the Soviets when, we were helping to bring their country to a collapse after the Cold War. the unity of the Serbian minorities in Croatia and Bosnia. You got lots of even here locally, Joseph. You got the Battle of New Orleans. There was a sense of nationalism that Americans united under in the conclusion of the American Revolution. So, we've got several examples of it. The thing that scares me now is that for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, we've put ourselves in this mutual economic destruction or this mutual economic annihilation. And being the big dog on the block, being the biggest economy, being the superpower of the world, the only remaining superpower of the world, if all of a sudden we do something that even inches toward protectionism or isolationism or any of the isms that are not conservatism or things that we've seen in America, it could be devastating to not just our economy but the global economy. I don't see us in a place where we can do that. Thank you for your call, Joseph. We got to go to a break. I really do appreciate that. That was a good call. 504-556-9696. Give us a call. Jump into the program right now. Lines are wide open. Trey Roberts on the Battlefield Live on WGSO 990 AM.
Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean, this is totally fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Join us at Playmakers Indoor South every summer and holiday for our multi-sport camps. $25 a day, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. with before care from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and after care from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. available for $5. Soccer, flag football, basketball, wiffle ball, relay games, lacrosse, and much, much more. Plenty of spots available. Contact Playmakers Indoor Sports, 6124 Jefferson Highway in Harahan, or call 504-305-6078 or sign up today at playmakersindoor.com.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
Did you know there's an approved healthcare choice just for Christians that's founded on the timeless principles in God's Word? It's not insurance. It's MediShare. Over 189,000 believers across America who love God and share each other's healthcare bills. It's about half the cost of health insurance, and you never pay for medical practices that go against your Christian beliefs. Best of all, the healthcare law includes a special provision for MediShare members, so you don't have to buy insurance or face penalties. MediShare is affordable health care without compromise.
Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your health care. For your free information guide, call 844-43-BIBLE. Not available in Montana. MediShare, affordable biblical health care. Call 844-43-BIBLE. That's 844-43-BIBLE.
504-556-9696. Welcome to the Battlefield Live on WGSO 990 AM. Trey Roberts flying solo tonight in a big chair. Got the whole mothership to myself, and would love to hear from you. 504-556-9696. And give us a call. Talk to me like Brian. Brian, welcome to the Battlefield Live on WGSO.
Good evening. This is Newt in the morning.
Hey.
I'm just letting you know I'm feeling better. I'm over here in Walter Reed Hospital.
Very good.
And I had a Venezuelan McGiggle hamburger sent to me.
Oh, you found one. Was that the last one coming out of Venezuela?
Yes, well, they had to. It took 2 hours for them to get the dew claw out of my throat.
Very nice. What's up? What's going on with you tonight, Brian?
Not too much. I had to turn off the convention.
Because you were enjoying it so much that you were having too much fun and felt that you could have a stroke of joy, or because blood was going to shoot out of your eyes and ears if you saw and heard one more thing?
No, after the dew claw, I had a hairball that was ready to come up, and it just wasn't. That was it. That was it. I have a question for you. You're a very intelligent gentleman. You really are. You have a good head on your shoulders.
I agree. No argument here.
Just out of
I'm also very humble.
Yes, you are. and you paint a house very well.
Thank you. You heard that, honey? Okay, go ahead.
And she put a gold star on the calendar for next weekend for you.
That's right.
And for Christmas, you can get 2 pieces of siding, gift wrapped, and with instructions on what nails to use. If the Democratic convention fails to give Miss Hillary a boost, and her polls start sliding, especially if any more emails come out, do you suppose that the Democratic Party will do anything under their, completely just unbelievable to keep Mr. Trump from being elected? Speculate as much as you want.
I don't know. I don't know, Brian. I don't feel like the media has yet turned its attention toward destroying Donald Trump. Like, I think that they're busy right now just praising and gushing over everything that they've done to help Hillary Clinton. I mean, think about everything that they've done, okay?
Now, Rachel Maddow came out against her a little bit.
Who did?
Rachel Maddow on MSNBC.
Yeah, she came out and said, what was it, the beginning of the speech or the beginning of the conference she didn't like? I mean, I didn't see. But, I mean, that's kind of like Sean Hannity coming out against Donald Trump about something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sean Hannity literally has abandoned any sort of principles whatsoever for political expediency. We'll save that topic for another day. But to your question, I don't know if any of it is going to matter, unless it's the 30,000 emails that were allegedly deleted, and those emails show quid pro quo. If it shows her selling influence in the government for millions of dollars, and we can pinpoint a donor from a country and a contract or a decision that was made by the State Department. I mean, it's got to be that clearly laid out.
Yes.
And even then, it's going to be doubted because it comes from WikiLeaks, right?
Yeah.
So they always have the out because it comes from Julian Assange's group. Some people see him as a patriot. Others see him as a traitor. It's kind of like Snowden. We all now know because of Edward Snowden that the NSA is spying on Americans.
Every one of us.
Every single one of us. All of our phone calls, all of our emails. They're just collecting data all the time.
And yet, right now.
And yet, most Americans view Edward Snowden as a traitor because he left the country after getting all of this information and exposing our government to the world, because he went to some people that we would view as less than favorable, not really allies and stuff. So you've got people who view him as a traitor, and you got people who view him as a hero. I think that this whole WikiLeaks thing is the same way. That unless they can pinpoint something that Hillary Clinton did that is up until now purely speculated. But what I don't understand, and maybe somebody out there who understands the law better than I do, you can call us at 504-556-9696. I don't understand how. Did you hear the audio we played at the beginning of the program?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if we listen to that audio and we hear Hillary say one thing, tell the FBI say one thing in an interview, tell Congress the same exact thing, and under oath, by the way, and then the FBI confirms the complete opposite. I don't understand how Comey did not push. I don't understand how Comey did not push for criminal charges to be brought up on Hillary Clinton, except that it's compromised.
And Three Dog Night singing ensemble.
Yeah. And a deal had to have been struck between the DOJ and Loretta Lynch's, Justice Department and Bill Clinton. I mean, they could not have been only speaking about grandkids, right?
And has that much of the government been so corrupted that no matter what even would come out in these 30,000 would make a difference? Has it gotten it corrupted already?
It really does seem that way. Look, Mark Cuban, who himself is a billionaire, put out a series of tweets. And, of course, this is speculation. But the guy understands how when you have that much money or alleged that much money, he understands kind of how tax returns work. Okay, so he said, number one, lots of people concerned about how much money the Clintons have made. More interesting to me is that they've paid $43 million in taxes since 2007. Then he says, I bet the $43 million in taxes the Clinton paid is not only more taxes than Donald Trump has paid, I bet they made more than him as well. And he put out another one that said, it's not a tough argument looking at their taxes and FEC filings that the Clintons are much smarter business people and negotiators than Donald Trump. And then he closed it up by saying maybe Donald Trump didn't release his taxes because Hillary Clinton paid more in taxes than Donald Trump made in income. So think about it. If they paid $43 million in taxes and Donald Trump didn't even make $43 million, it kind of takes the luster off of the whole, all we do is win, 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 no matter what. Like Trump is not the winner that a lot of people maybe think he is. So,
well, any attorney is going to tell you that when you under a IRS audit,
that's been disproven by. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Finish your statement. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anytime you under an audit, and you have to have an attorney with you, IRS attorney. You cannot release any documents until that audit is finished.
Well, that's been disproven. That is not true. You can absolutely release your tax returns. One has nothing to do with the other. He has tax returns. He just has to give them to the public. So, thank you, Brian, for the phone call. Really do appreciate that. We're at our bottom of the hour time out. We got to pay some bills. We got Richard Sherman. We've got the big news, Bernie Sanders. Well, I'll tell you after the break, so stick around for that. And Ted Cruz's numbers that nobody will tell you about. Only here on the Battlefield Live with Trey on WGSO 990 AM.
Changing an industry is not easy, but it's happening. Thanks to new apps and startups, we're not using taxis or hotels as much. And with Casper, the way we buy mattresses is changing too. They've turned the commission-driven mattress showroom on its head by creating one perfect mattress. I sleep on a Casper every night. It's how a good night's sleep is supposed to feel. And it's not just me that loves Casper. Time magazine named it one of the best inventions of 2015. You see, its 2 high-tech foams guarantee that you sleep cool and comfortable with all the support you need. It ships for free in a box so small you won't believe it actually holds a mattress. And you can try it for 100 nights, risk-free. You don't love it? They'll come and pick it up and refund you everything. No questions asked. For a guaranteed great night's sleep, do what I did. Get a Casper. Try it in your home for 100 nights with free shipping and returns. Go to Casper.com. Use code NATION for $50 towards the purchase of your mattress. That's Casper.com. Code NATION for $50 towards the purchase of your mattress. Casper.com. Terms and conditions apply.
What are you doing to stop traffic when your business is ready to wow the pants off customers? Visit Sir Speedy. We produce quality signs, posters, banners, and more that are just a trick for trade shows, promotions, events, and product launches. Whether you're taking it to the street, the floor, or the counter, bigger is always better. For more information or to get a quote, go to SirSpeedyNewOrleans.com.
It's Jeff Crouere, host of Ringside Politics. I'd like to introduce WGSO General Manager Richard Tate.
WGSO is locally owned and operated right here in New Orleans. We believe in cultivating local talent and emphasize local programs. If you have an interest in hosting your own program, we have some prime spots available.
Thanks, Richard. Folks, take advantage of this great offer. Email me at jeff@wgso.com or call me at 504-669-6076. Come fulfill your radio dreams at WGSO.
Catch the Three Tailgaters Show with Ken Trahan, Ed Daniels, and Rick Gailey Saturday mornings from 10 to noon on WGSO 990 AM, New Orleans.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
We must unite around the candidate who can defeat a dangerous demagogue.
After earlier toying with a run for the White House himself, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg tells delegates at the Democratic National Convention he's backing Hillary Clinton.
I know Hillary Clinton is not flawless. No candidate is. But she is the right choice and the responsible choice in this election.
Shortly after Bloomberg's remarks, Tim Kaine accepts the nomination as Hillary Clinton's running mate.
I humbly accept my party's nomination to be Vice President of the United States.
Fed policymakers end a 2-day meeting without touching interest rates, although they leave the door open to a possible increase in a key rate later this year, perhaps as soon as September. This is USA Radio News.
Hi, I'm Joan London. When I needed to find senior care for my mom, I really struggled to find the right fit until I found an advisor, someone who had been through this before. That's why I recommend A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. They have experts who will help you ask the right questions and find the right place. Call A Place for Mom today.
To speak with the local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-469-7591. That's 1-800-469-7591.
A Place for Mom has helped over 200,000 families find the right senior care for their parents, from assisted living to independent living, even Alzheimer's care, and have local advisors that can help explain your options at no cost to you.
To speak with the local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-469-7591. That's 1-800-469-7591.
Call today.
We're pleased that the criminal charges against Officer Miller, Porter, Sergeant White have been dismissed.
Baltimore's police union blasting State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby after she drops all charges against the remaining officers linked to the death of Freddie Gray a year ago April. As Mosby says at a news conference, she realized very early on in the case that police investigating police was, in her words, problematic.
The comments made today by Ms. Mosby were outrageous.
Police Union President Gene Ryan saying justice was done with the dismissal of those remaining charges and that all the officers now cleared should be returned to their normal duties. Police say they're going to have extra personnel on the streets of Baltimore tonight should there be any protests or violence. Claiming he feels John Hinckley Jr. no longer poses a threat to himself or the public, a federal judge orders the release of the man who tried to assassinate President Reagan in 1981. This is USA Radio News.
Have you heard about AMAC? AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. They're the leading conservative organization in the nation for folks 50 and up. AMAC is a patriotic membership organization dedicated to defending the values that have made America great. Things like smaller government, fiscal responsibility, individual freedom, and family values. But that's not all. An AMAC membership gives you access to exceptional benefits like Medicare supplements and Advantage plans, special low rates on car insurance, roadside assistance, and discounts on hotels, car rentals, and major theme parks, and much more. AMAC reveres the Constitution, and unlike other senior organizations, AMAC lobbied Congress against Obamacare, not for it. People, take it from me and stand with well over 1 million other patriots by joining AMAC today. It's easy. Just visit AMAC's website at www.amac.us. That's www.amac.us. www.amac.us. Join AMAC today and tell them Michael Savage sent you.
I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. All 4 of them are on the Dynavite. This stuff is amazing. The first day that I gave Sweet Pea and Daisy the Dynavite for cats, I did add a little bit of the Lick-a Chops, and they absolutely loved it. All the vitamins, the minerals, they also enjoyed the Num-Nums, the Nub-Nubs or whatever they're called, the treats that also came along with it. DINOVITE.com.
859-428-1000.
They're just running through the house. They're playing. My Sweet Pea will walk in front of me. She'll stop where she's at, drop, and roll onto her back, and then expect me to rub her belly, just like a kitten. Daisy and Sweet Pea have a cat tree in my living room, and lately she's been climbing up to the top, jumping up there, and then she'll climb back down, and then she's right back up again. Oh, I'm sorry. I wish they would make a product for us humans to give us the same amount of energy and spunk that Dynavite for cats are given for my cats. The phone number is 859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
We're here to fix the machine.
Battlefield Live.
You're listening to the Battlefield Live on WGSO 990 AM in NOLA and the Lanterns Radio Network. Hour 2 of the program coming at you right now. I want to jump back in, but before we do me a favor. If you get a chance, go to Twitter and follow Chris and I. Follow Chris at Paul Revere again. And follow me, Trey Roberts, at T-Rob Radio. That's the letter T, Rob Radio. And then just go to your browser and type in the hashtag LanternsBuzz. Hit enter. And you will find a ton of stuff that we do. You can go to lanterns.buzz, battlefield.buzz. Those are websites, by the way. Or you can go to radio.battlefield.buzz. We're on Spreaker. We're on Stitcher. We're on iTunes. We're on SoundCloud, Google Play, Player FM. We are everywhere. So there's no reason to not get your fill of all 10 hours of Battlefield Live every single week. You don't have to listen to us from 9 to 11. I know some of you are tired. Some of you are sleepy. Some of you are weary. Weaklings. Oh, I'm sorry. That was an inside thought. But you can download the podcast, and when you're bright and fresh and early in the morning, like at 6 a.m., when you're sipping on your cup of coffee, you can tune into the Battlefield Live, and everything we tell you between 9 and 11 p.m. is what they'll be talking about all day tomorrow. So you'll get the news before anyone else. Hey, I got great news for anybody that has HIV or AIDS. You don't hear that very often. If you have HIV or AIDS, you should probably vote for Hillary Clinton. Because according to Governor Andrew Cuomo, the governor of the once great state of New York, he told the Democrat LGBT caucus on Tuesday that Hillary Clinton could resolve the HIV AIDS epidemic by 2020. Imagine that, folks. Here's his quote. We can end the epidemic once and for all. And that should be the goal for this nation and for this president. To say by 2020 the AIDS epidemic should end once and for all, and that's something Hillary Clinton can make a reality. In case you didn't know, gay men are more severely affected by HIV than any other group in the United States. Don't ask me. This comes from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, or known as the CDC. Now, these pro-LGBT Democrats that he shared this, talked about this to, he was bragging about his decision to ignore his state legislature's decision not to pass legislation that he deemed pro-LGBT, saying that he unilaterally decided, I don't care if they don't pass it. I'm going to sign an executive order. Governor Cuomo, of course, has been a prominent supporter of Hillary Clinton, and his actions as governor may be crucial to uniting the warring factions of the Democrat Party, which actually brings me to me, this was a little bit of breaking news, because if you heard the roll call of the DNC on Tuesday, it was Bernie. Bernie called for the party to unanimously and with consent nominate Hillary Clinton. I mean, he was full-throated, crazy old Bernie rallying the troops on the floor to ultimately call the vote to an end, say what's done is done. We should all just nominate her. Let every vote count for Hillary Clinton. Let's make it official. And then Bernie Sanders left the Democrat Party. Now, Bernie Sanders, he's always considered himself, officially, that is, an independent in Congress. But that's only because Bernie has never felt that the Democrat Party has gone far enough. Remember, he's an openly Democratic socialist. He's left of the Democrat Party. Now, you argue, and you can, if you think you can make that argument, 504-556-9696. But he said, look, because his views lean further left in the Democrat Party's platform, and he still caucuses with the Democrats, but when he decided to run for president, he wasn't going to be able to do it as a third party. He was going to have to do it within the Democrats, the same way Donald Trump was going to have to do it as a Republican, except it worked out for him because the Republicans are stupid. And now, despite pleading his base to support Hillary, even though his base, is concerned that she's too moderate, Bernie Sanders is going to return to Vermont. He's gone back to his seat in the Senate, and he'll do so with no party affiliation. In fact, Susan Page tweeted out, Bernie Sanders tells @BPolitics, breakfast with reporters, he will return to the Senate as an independent, not as a Dem. Quote, I was elected as an independent. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who was forced to resign as chairwoman of the DNC after the emails that we've been talking about, revealed that she tried to keep Sanders from challenging Clinton for the party's nomination, might even be vindicated. Sort of. Sanders has struggled all this entire time, the entire process of whether or not he really calls himself a Democrat, even ducking the question of his party affiliation, which was raised by local Vermont media just days after he declared. He tried to later reinforce that he was indeed a Democrat, but Sanders certainly wasn't a party player, and that was exactly the concern of Wasserman Schultz, voiced in the WikiLeaks document dump. In an April 24th email she received with an article describing the ways Sanders felt the DNC was undermining his campaign, she wrote back, spoken like someone who has never been a member of the Democrat Party and no understanding of what we do, close quote. So it appears that if was a man Schultz's job was to ensure that a Democrat got the Democratic Party's nominee, then you know what? Good for her. She did it right because Reince Priebus. Sorry, that guy's name throws me for a loop. But Reince Priebus should have made sure that a Republican got the Republican nomination and not a lifelong liberal Democrat donor. Why isn't Reince Priebus, why isn't he run out on the third rail of the Republican Party, and Was-A-Man Schultz is the one having to step down? At least Was-A-Man Schultz kept a Democrat from getting the Democratic nomination, where the Republican chairman allowed a liberal Democrat donor. In fact, allowed Monica Lewinsky's ex-boyfriend's wife, Monica Lewinsky's ex-boyfriend's wife's donor to get the Republican nomination. Reince ought to be the one being fired. Was-A-Man Schultz did her job. All right. See you later, Bernie. Go back to independent land where nothing else is going to matter and spout off your socialist agenda. But we got coming up next, we'll talk a little bit of Richard Sherman, and I want to play some audio. The Republican nominee, not really sounding very Republican on a couple of positions, but I'll let you be the judge of that. 504-556-9696. This is Trey Roberts on the Battlefield Live on WGSO 990 AM. We'll be right back. Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean, this is totally fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show. Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Playmakers Indoor Sports is a state-of-the-art indoor turf facility offering leagues, drop-in play, field rental, parties, camps, clinics, and a whole bunch more. Play includes adult and youth in soccer, lacrosse, flag football, and more. For more information, go to www.playmakersindoor.com. Like us on Facebook at Playmakers Indoors South. 6124 Jefferson Highway, Harahan, Louisiana, 504-305-6078.
Your product works well. I've noticed a tremendous difference because my hair is noticeably thicker and doesn't fall out when I brush it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's one real customer talking about real results he's getting from Provia Natural Hair Therapy. And now Chamonix is introducing the brand new Provia Super Concentrate. This little miracle bottle contains 4 times the power of the natural Provia ingredient for substantially faster and more visible results. I know this stuff works, folks, and the results are amazing. I stand behind Provia revitalizing the hair follicles, blocking DHT, and improving the appearance of healthy hair safely, naturally, and without side effects. You're only one phone call or one click away from stronger, fuller, younger-looking hair. And now when you try Provia, you will get the new Super Concentrate absolutely free with your order. I want you to call 800-543-5830. The new Provia Super Concentrate works or you get your money back, period. For this limited time, risk-free offer, call 800-543-5830. That's 800-543-5830.
Welcome back to the program. 504-556-9696. I want to play some audio for you. You tell me if the audio you're about to hear, should it be, would you A, expect to hear this from the Republican nominee, or B, expect to hear this from the Democrat nominee? You be the judge. All right. Here we go. I'm going to try this again.
About the minimum wage, you got hammered on that by Bernie Sanders last night. What's your vision for federal minimum wage? How much?
Well, he lied last night. I mean, it was a total lie, and everybody said it. In fact, some of the folks on your network said, wow, that was really a lie. He said that I wanted to go less than minimum wage. This is a new one because I'm the one Republican that said in some cases we have to go more than minimum wage.
Well, give me a
what
number.
I like is state.
Give me a number.
Well, let me give you a concept because I think it's a good concept.
All right, that's pretty much enough. I mean, the computer's locking up on me here, and that's okay because we got out what I wanted him and I wanted you to hear. Here is I was about to say presumptive nominee, but he's the guy now. This is the dude. And he just advocated for a $10 minimum wage. Now, on the campaign trail, he decried about how high American wages are. He previously stated a position that was in support of raising the minimum wage after being, Bernie Sanders claimed that he didn't support the increase of the minimum wage. And he kind of goaded Trump into this. I mean, Bernie Sanders says states should actually have the right to lower the minimum wage below $7.25. Well, listen, you cannot be a constitutional conservative and not agree that the state should have more ability to state its minimum wage laws if you even believe economically in something like government-controlled minimum wage. I know many of my libertarian friends out there and many constitutional conservatives are going to be like, why is the government involved on any level in telling businesses how much they should pay workers? Now, many of you who are not educated about this topic will say, but then a business can pay its people $1, $2 an hour. Yeah. And then workers will go work someplace else. The market will take care of it. But Trump said he lied last night. I mean, he lied. It was a total lie. He's a liar. Everybody said it. He lied. And so here you have, according to his own words, a not very Republican thing to say. $10. But with the understanding that somebody like me is going to bring back jobs, I don't want people to be in that $10 category for very long. Okay, so, for the most part, Donald Trump believes this is a very non-Republican thing. You would not expect to hear this from the now Republican candidate. Now, we talked about, and Brian brought up the idea of Donald Trump's taxes. By the way, 504-556-9696. Mark Cuban put some ideas out there. But conservative pundit George Will has a little bit different idea. George Will actually political columnist George Will, Monday night actually went on, it looks like Special Report with Brett Baer from the DNC in Philadelphia, and said that maybe Donald Trump's not willing to release his taxes out of fear that they could possibly show he is deeply involved in dealing with Russia's oligarchs. Well, that's interesting. Maybe. Both the campaign chair and anybody you talk to, including Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy, would not go down that road once pressed on the connection between Russia and the Trump campaign, said Baer. But they have thrown it out there. Well, it's the sort of thing we learn, or we might learn, if we saw Canada's tax returns, George Will began. Perhaps one more reason that we're not seeing his tax returns is because he's deeply involved in dealing with Russia's oligarchs and others. Whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, it's probably the reasonable surmise. Now, yes, in full disclosure, George Will, 75 years old, announced last month he was leaving the Republican Party, asserting he could no longer stand by Trump's politics. I get it. I left the Republican Party as well. I'm officially a registered libertarian, so I get it. And I don't know. I don't know if that's the main reason why. I mentioned before the last break, most people you talk to, including many of the hosts on this radio station, loved pointing out that Ted Cruz was the biggest loser. The big loser at the Republican National Convention. And they cite that his numbers, his overall favorability or popularity or homecoming queen or whatever else other kind of, voting and polling is out there. But they cite the number that says he went from 65% favorable down to 33% favorable. Now, what's weird is that number went down with Republicans. But they say Ted Cruz's favorability rating with the Republican Party went from 65 to 33, but his favorability rating remained the same. Now think about that. His overall favorability rating was a 61. That included Republicans, Democrats, and Independents. His rating didn't change at all with Democrats. But if he lost almost 50% of his favorability rating with the GOP, and yet his overall favorability rating remained the same, ladies and gentlemen, the result of the GOP convention was that Ted Cruz's base just broadened because his favorability with independents went up. Because they saw, like I did, they saw a guy with principles, a guy who went out there and gave a speech that did not stoop low, did not attack the nominee. He went out there with class. He spoke of principles. He was articulate. He related. He told stories. There was emotion. There was truth, unadulterated all the time. And he told everyone, including the media, including the Trump campaign, what he was going to do 3 days before and that he wasn't going to endorse. And the good thing about that is he didn't go out there and he didn't endorse. On the flip side, if you're a fan of Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders, they went out there, said Hillary was horrible. She's not the candidate for the Democrat Party. She's not what we need to advance progressive ideology. They spoke against her. They fought against her. They ran against her. They didn't support her the entire campaign, and they did so on socialist principles. But at the end of the day, they went out there and they sold out on their principles, and they sold out all of their followers. As someone who supported Ted Cruz because of the principles that he espouses, I am proud that he has not sold out his principles, and I know that the Republican Party, when they are finished with this Trump fiasco, Cruz will be right there to pick up the pieces. Trey Roberts, WGSO 990 AM. We'll be right back on the Battlefield Live.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to ingodwetrust.com and get your hope today.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Playmakers Indoor Sports offers youth and adult leagues for soccer and flag football, NFL youth flag football, and youth developmental programs. Playmakers Tots program is a youth development program for children ages 18 months to 7 years. Playmakers Tots uses sports like soccer, football, baseball, and basketball to help kids work on motor development, learn to work together, follow directions, and improve listening skills while learning that activity is fun. To register for classes, go to our registration page at playmakersindoor.com or call 504-305-6078. Playmakersindoor.com. 6124 Jefferson Highway in Harahan.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
We must unite around the candidate who can defeat a dangerous demagogue.
After earlier toying with a run for the White House himself, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg tells delegates at the Democratic National Convention he's backing Hillary Clinton.
I know Hillary Clinton is not flawless. No candidate is. But she is the right choice and the responsible choice in this election.
Shortly after Bloomberg's remarks, Tim Kaine accepts the nomination as Hillary Clinton's running mate.
I humbly accept my party's nomination to be Vice President of the United States.
Fed policymakers end a two-day meeting without touching interest rates, although they leave the door open to a possible increase in a key rate later this year, perhaps as soon as September. This is USA Radio News.
Hi, I'm Joan London. When I needed to find senior care for my mom, I really struggled to find the right fit until I found an advisor, someone who had been through this before. That's why I recommend A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. They have experts who will help you ask the right questions and find the right place. Call A Place for Mom today.
To speak with the local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-469-7591. That's 1-800-469-7591.
A Place for Mom has helped over 200,000 families find the right senior care for their parents, from assisted living to independent living, even Alzheimer's care, and have local advisors that can help explain your options at no cost to you.
To speak with the local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-469-7591. That's 1-800-469-7591.
Call today.
Alex Jones. I have believed from the very beginning these are real grassroots uprisings all over the Middle East, North Africa. But when the globalists came out and bragged that they were behind El Baradi and others and are trying to take credit for it, clearly they knew that these rebellions were coming, so they triggered it to make sure their people got in. So I think everybody who's been looking at this from different perspectives has been right.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones.
Saturdays at 4 on WGSO.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to ingodwetrust.com and get your hope today.
Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for president of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean,
like
this is totally
gyroscope.
fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show. Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
Welcome back to the program. Battlefield Live on WGSO 990 AM. Phone lines are wide open, 504-556-9696. Jump in, get in right now. I want to pivot a little bit. And there was a poll that came out, a new survey about the satisfaction of Americans and the way things are going in the country. And basically, the satisfaction rating of most Americans with the country has nosedived to just 17%, according to this new Gallup poll. Now, up at still a miserable 29% in June, the one-month drop from 29 to 17% tied a Gallup record for the biggest plummet since the satisfaction poll began 15 years ago. Now, the satisfaction, this is kind of interesting. If you look at the satisfaction with the U.S. by party ID, it shows you three lines on the same graph. And it shows you the darkest green line is Republicans, the middle green is independents, and the light green is Democrats. And right now, Republicans, or people who identify as Republicans, have only a 6% satisfaction rating. Democrats are up at 29%, and independents are at 16%. Gallup tests the issues in a lot of different areas of their satisfaction survey, and race relations has jumped from the bottom of the list to the top in 1 month. Last month, it was at 5%. Race relations, the people concerned about race relations overcame terrorism worldwide, police shootings of suspects, shootings of police, the nasty presidential race, and what jumped from 5% last month to 18% this month is Americans that they believe that race is now the top issue facing the country. Since 2000, to give you a little bit of perspective, here we are 16 years into the 21st century. Since 2000, mentions of race have only once previously been in double digits. That ought to tell you something about how much race has not been an issue in the 21st century, despite what the Democrats say. And that leads us to Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman is the all-pro quarterback. He's your smart athlete guy. And when the media wants to go and ask smart athlete guy a question, they typically go to Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman went to Stanford. He's a smart guy. And he's willing to talk. I listened to an interview today from a host on ESPN Radio. His name is Bomani Jones. In fact, he's got a clever cadence. His show is called The Right Time with Bomani Jones, and it's great. I mean, it's funny. He's quick-witted, but you might know him if you pay attention to sports. You might know Bomani Jones from. He took a the Cleveland Indians have this like caricature of an Indian face, and then across their uniforms it says Indians or Cleveland. And he went on ESPN. He had a shirt made that had a stereotypical picture of a white dude, and across it said Caucasians, like they were a team. Unfortunately, and I don't think this is what Bomani Jones was trying to bring about, but nobody got offended by it. In fact, everybody thought it was clever, and everybody wanted to get their own Caucasian shirt that looked like the Cleveland Indians. So it had a little bit of a different effect. But Bomani Jones talked about this particular interview on the undefeated.com. If you go to the undefeated.com, you can check this out. Richard Sherman, the title of it, As Human Beings, All Lives Matter. And so they asked him, in the wake of these killings of black men at the hands of police and police being ambushed and killed, what are your thoughts? Well, Richard Sherman says, like what I would expect anybody to say. He said, I think it's unfortunate. You know, you pray for both families on all sides of this. You don't want to see anybody killed senselessly. It's tough times we're living in. It's a very scary time, uncertain future, frustrating on both sides. You understand the police officers have a duty and a job, and they sacrifice a lot to protect and serve. And I understand that some don't do it the right way. I also understand that people shouldn't get killed just because of the color of the skin. They have a right to a trial. So this guy, Dominique Foxworth, is the interviewer. He goes on and he says, what about the white and non-black players? Do you think they should feel the same obligation as black players? And Richard Sherman says, I guess, you know, in some respects, just as human beings. We hear a lot about Black Lives Matter, but I think race was created. Ding! Absolutely. Thank you, Richard Sherman. He said, I think everybody is a human being first, and then the color of their skin wouldn't matter if nobody told you it mattered, if that makes any sense. Yes, Richard Sherman. That makes sense. He goes on to say, I don't think it's the white player's obligation to speak up. I think it'd be nice to show some unity within our league, but it truly hits home for a lot of African-American players who are from these environments where people are getting killed. It's no different than what Richard Sherman is saying right now. It's no different than what Patrick Hampton said last week, what Jesse Lee Peterson said on Monday, what Larry Elder's been running around saying, what Andre Harper said, what Stephen Broden has said. The people we've had on this show have said the exact same thing. Only difference is this guy gets paid a lot of money to play football. And most people wouldn't expect to hear it. And then they went into, they crossed the line. This guy, Dominique, what's his last name? Dominique Foxworth, at Foxworth24. He goes a step further and he asks, okay, what's your opinion of Black Lives Matter? Again, Sherman really is smart athlete guy. Because he said it's hard to formulate an opinion and generalize because they have several different messages. Some of them are peaceful and understandable, and some of them are very radical and hard to support. Anytime you see people who are saying Black Lives Matter and then saying it's time to kill police, and those of you out there saying Black Lives Matter never said kill. No, they said pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Then it's difficult to stand behind that logic. They're generalizing police just like they are asking police not to generalize us. It's very hypocritical. So in that respect, I find it difficult to fully support that movement. I stand by what I said, that all lives matter, that we are human beings. And speaking to police, I want African Americans and everybody else treated decently. I want them treated like human beings, and I also want the police treated like human beings as well. I don't want police officers just getting knocked off in the street who haven't done anything wrong. Those are innocent lives. Well, Black Twitter came out in full force against Richard Sherman. In fact, Bomani Jones kind of led the way with his tweet. Richard Sherman went all lives matter, but says white athletes don't have to step up. That's hashtag hustling backwards. No, Bomani, it's not. Now, Bomani Jones today read this same article that I'm sharing with you on his program and ended this article in his comment and saying, oh, look, Richard Sherman, you are a smart athlete guy. And people are going to come to you and they're going to put a microphone in your face and they're going to ask you to say something about things that are going on because you are a smart athlete guy, whether you like it or not. So you need to be prepared. You need to be educated about things and what's going on. And he said, I'm not saying that Richard Sherman is uneducated because we know he's a smart athlete guy, but he's sounds a little ignorant on this issue. And I would tend to say that, Bomani Jones, have you ever read what Black Lives Matter stand for? Because there's nothing on their website for their belief system that says anything about police brutality or criminal justice, reform or any of that stuff. But Black Twitter just tore Richard Sherman up. By Joel Anderson, at By Joel Anderson, he said, sometimes when athletes speak out, just like your auntie or your preacher cousin, you get what you get. At Gene D215, oh God, make it stop. Richard Sherman, as human beings, all lives matter. Really? At Lou Moore 12 said, you read Kimball Walker and Richard Sherman and you realize they don't know what some of these activist athletes did in the 1960s. All I say is, kudos to you, Richard Sherman. You just took a big notch up as one of my favorite athletes because you're thinking, you're using your brain, and you're not accepting what everybody tells you. We'll be back after this quick timeout on the Battlefield Live on WGSO 990 AM.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Playmakers Indoor Sports. TOTS program is one of Playmakers' most popular. Our professionally developed curriculum provides our TOTS with a variety of fun games and exercise in a positive, enjoyable, and exciting environment. These great games help your little one develop their motor skills, create confidence, improve their listening skills, and learn how to follow directions, all while promoting fitness and activity. Our TOTS groups range from 18 months to 7 years. Sign up your little tot today or call 504-305-6078. Playmakersindoor.com.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean,
like
this is totally fascinating.
Gyroscope.
Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show.
Did you know there's an approved healthcare choice just for Christians that's founded on the timeless principles in God's Word? It's not insurance. It's MediShare. Over 189,000 believers across America who love God and share each other's healthcare bills. It's about half the cost of health insurance, and you never pay for medical practices that go against your Christian beliefs. Best of all, the healthcare law includes a special provision for MediShare members, so you don't have to buy insurance or face penalties. MediShare is affordable health care without compromise.
Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your health care. For your free information guide, call 844-43-BIBLE. Not available in Montana. MediShare, affordable biblical health care. Call 844-43-BIBLE. That's 844-43-BIBLE.
Final segment of the Battlefield Live here on WGSO 990 AM. If you want to get in, now is the time to get in. And if you've been in, we're not letting you back in. Just giving you a heads up on that. We like to keep it to it's like a one drink minimum. It's a one call minimum. You get your say, and then you got to go away, at least for a day. But then you can come back and play and have your say to me, Trey, if that's okay. But anyway, I don't think I can keep that up. All right, that was as far as I could go with that. I tried, but I couldn't go really any further with that. So again, 504-556-9696. Hey, also do us a favor. Here at the Battlefield Live, we have some incredible sponsors. We love our sponsors. First of all, Playmakers Indoor. If you go to playmakersindoor.com, please go there, check it out. It's the South Shore version of it. This is a place that is an indoor all-turf facility, okay? They have adult sports and leagues in soccer, lacrosse, flag football. When I was playing basketball, I would go to this place. I would see Playmakers Indoor Sports, and they have a phenomenal field for indoor soccer, and I would see these guys playing flag football. It's just a really quality facility. You've got youth sports, soccer, flag football, lacrosse, sport camps, and clinics. You can register for those things from the website themselves. They do kids parties, sports parties, splash parties, tots parties, reball parties, youth camps, tot camps, sport camps. One of the best things is their tots program. If you have children ages 18 months to age 7, they have a tots sports program. They call them guppies from 18 months to 26 months, tadpoles from 22 to 36 months, minnows at 3 years, goldfish 3.5 to 4 years, stingrays at 4 years, tiger sharks 4.5 years, and then your sharks from 5 to 6 years old. And it's just a great way. It's indoor. It's air conditioned. It's especially right now with the heat being sweltering. You've got to go check it out. So go to playmakersindoor.com. And if you're ever looking for to drop some kids off, you need somebody to watch the kids, but you want to make sure it's in a safe environment and you're having a ton of fun, Playmakers Indoor Sports is the place to go. Also, many of you maybe, if you're from New Orleans, you remember Augie's Glass Garden. If you went to Augie's Glass Garden before, I remember as a senior in high school, that was the place to take your date on the prom. I mean, it was just that nice. And if you remember Augie Lopez, Augie would come out there and he would, he would fraternize with all of the people the patrons, the people who were eating there. It was just a phenomenal environment. And Augie's got a brand new restaurant in Harahan, 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Augie's Restaurant. They've got a great lunch menu, a great dinner menu. It's just a beautiful place. The absolute biggest seafood platters, fried seafood platters. Nowhere else can you get super jumbo soft shell crabs for only $14.99. You've got to get to Augie's. If you want more information, go to augiesnola.com. augiesnola.com. Their number is 504-733-3000. And by the way, Playmakers Indoor, their phone number is 504-752-9657. 504-752-9657. So check them out. There were some awkward moments. Last night, these two things are not related. I was getting ready to talk about the 5 most awkward moments from the RNC, but that's old news. I mean, tonight you had President Obama, you had Vice President Joe Biden, you had the newly nominated Tim Kaine, vice presidential nominee for the Democrat Party. They all spoke tonight. We'll dig into what they said and maybe talk about it tomorrow. But Dinesh D'Souza last night talked a lot about how the Democrats of today, and this may be something that is rather difficult for a lot of people to understand. They look at the Democrat Party, they see many, many African American leaders. I mean, hell, you see the president of the United States, the first African American president of the United States, and he's a Democrat. And you say, how can Democrats who are made up of a lot of African Americans, how can they be the same people or have the same mindset or be a part of the same party that was for slavery, that was for secession, that was for segregation? How can they be for these things and they be the same people? And the mentality or the thing that you have to keep in mind is that coming out of the New Deal, the Great Depression, World War II, right about the time that Kennedy was elected, you had statistics, if you will, for the black family, the black economy, black businesses. Coming out of the 1950s and beginning in the 1960s, there was a lot of natural progress that was being made without a whole lot of federal intervention. And Democrats were fighting it all along the way. In fact, the very same bill that LBJ signed in 1964, that bill almost was voted successfully in the Senate and brought to the desk of President Dwight D. Eisenhower. But there were two senators in particular, two Democratic senators, who fought and ultimately voted against it, killing the bill in the Senate, and it never made it to the desk of President Eisenhower. Otherwise, if they wouldn't have fought against it in the late 1950s, President Eisenhower, a Republican, would be the one who'd be getting the credit for signing the Civil Rights Acts that we now know of the 1960s. Those two senators, Lyndon Baines Johnson, senator from Texas, and John F. Kennedy, senator from Massachusetts. The very same men who would go on to become presidents of the United States and ultimately LBJ be the one to sign the civil rights legislation. It would have been passed under Dwight D. Eisenhower's presidency, but they fought it and defeated it in the Senate in the late 50s. Now, if you don't know history, you won't know this. But the mentality of the Democrat Party changed. There was no immigration, legally or illegally. There's probably some illegal immigration. But our national immigration policy from 1920 to 1964 was closed borders. We didn't let anybody in. So there were no immigrants coming in. The Democrats and LBJ's mentality was, if we give these Negroes just enough that they feel like we're giving them something, but not too much to make a difference, then we can get them to start voting for us. The governor that flew with him to sign the bill, the 1964 Civil Rights Act, one of the governors asked him on Air Force One, why is this so important to you? And he said that when I sign this bill, we'll have them ends, and he used the derogatory term, we'll have them ends voting for us for the next 200 years. So the mentality of the Democrat Party went from one of slavery to enslavement. And they went from the plantation owner to Uncle Sam's plantation. And the Democrat Party today continues to use the anger, the hatred, the vitriol of racism to keep the African American community angry, thinking that racism is their biggest issue, and they vote in lockstep with the Democrat Party. The control of African Americans in America is the same from Jackson to Obama. Thank you for joining us on the Battlefield Live. We'll see you tomorrow. For Chris Pilier, I'm Trey Roberts. We'll see you, 23 hours from now on the Battlefield Live on WGSO 990 AM. Later.